Hey, I'm Tony from Ant Workshop, here to play the latest demo of Into the Restless Ruins for you. So I'm just going to dive right in. So Into the Restless Ruins is a deck builder where you're also building a dungeon. And your goal is to get up to that room that we saw just at the top of the level there. And you do that. This is where you start. That's you there. You do that by playing your cards, and each card is like a room or a corridor, that kind of thing, that connects up by the doorways to things that already exist there. So what we're trying to do is get to these fog rooms, because you see how it says that there's a couple of seals that we need to find. The seal for this area is hidden behind the fog there. So I'll just kind of get going, starting playing really. So each card, the corridors are pretty basic, but the rooms usually have like things that they do, so they'll have stats that they can affect, and also things that they can do when you interact with them in the next section of the gameplay. So I'll just take this, the armory, which increases the amount of damage that we do. Always a good, solid thing. And then we slap it down, bang. And you can see, because there was already a door there, it's connected up. And these rooms have got doors in each side here. So what I can do now, see here, connect, that snaps in. But you can't connect straight to these things. It's like you have to build from the area that you're already coming from. So I'm going to stick this here, which will increase our max health, which is also useful. And you can see I have the settings, so these are like little things that I can interact with as I'm exploring on a night. And you have a limited number of build points every night. You usually have 3 build points. You can see how many build points a card takes to play up on the top corner there. So I can afford to play one more card. I think if I stick this hallway here, that'll connect up real nicely. So I've used up all my build points, can't do any more building. So now we'll begin harvest. And this goes on to the second part of the gameplay. And the second part is kind of, it's not Vampire Survivors, but it's like that kind of auto-battling, dungeon crawling kind of thing. Being absolutely whacked by some frogs there. And yeah, so you run around, your character is auto-attacking stuff. When you come up to these things, you can use them. And the armory increases your damage, but just for that night as well. Or the tree can heal you a little bit, because when I got whacked by that other enemy, I took a little bit of damage. Oh, amazingly, we found the seal almost immediately. I'm not going to claim that right now, for kind of just for video reasons, pretty much. But I'm going to go back and go the other way. As you're killing monsters, you gain little bits of like mana, XP from them. We call it glimmer. And that fills up a bar, and when you get to the top of that bar, you get to pick a new card from the Maiden, who's she's the other character in the story. She helps you out a lot. You're kind of working for her. What do I want? Crook. This is kind of the crux and interesting. It's like a corridor corner piece, but has extra doors on it, so that's quite useful. But the observatory does zoom out the camera and lets you see, and it also clears the fog from a random room when you use it, which is really, really useful. So I'm going to take that. And then that's added to my deck. And you can see it's all kind of getting a bit darker. So this orange bar here, that's your torchlight. And that's kind of like one of the big mechanics of the game is, as you're exploring the dungeon that you build, you're slowly running out of torch. I've got another nice thing. What do I want? Fairy spray, extra relic. Spawns every night. Fairy guides me to the exit. I'll take that one. So I kind of, every night you need to get back to the exit, which is the same place that you came in from before you run out. Because if you run out of torch, you just start taking damage to your health. So we'll go to the exit and leave. And so we're back, now we're on night 2. You saw there that this bar fills up slowly. Every night you get a little bit more of that. If you die, you get like a big chunk, and there's kind of like there's other cards and other things that can affect the progress of this bar. If you hit one of the little skulls, you get a curse card, which is like a quite a powerful negative card gets added to your deck. If you get all the way to the end of the bar, game over. So I want to connect up to that room there, just to kind of see what's up there. So what I could do you often end up in a situation, so I could stick this armory there. That's quite a nice little bit of connection. But then I also want, you always have to be kind of thinking about, so when I clear the seal, it'll remove this wall, and then I can start building in this section here. Like I said, I'm trying to get up to the boss fight at the top. So you're always kind of thinking not just about where you are at the moment, but also like what you need to build to move forward, and kind of having in the future, going through here, having this armory that I can activate, but then having another armory that I can activate. Like that's really useful every night. So that's, as you can see, that increases my damage permanently. But then, yeah, the armory also does, like, if you use it on a night, it helps you out that night. So I think the other thing that I'm going to do, if I build that, stick that there. But actually, the other thing that I could do, and again, thinking about like your doors and how your doors are going to connect higher up is always useful as well. If I do that, I can come up here, grab that, use the observatory, or actually I'll probably use that fog room, and come back all the way back down, claim the seal, and I'll keep that observatory, and I'll use that next time round. Because the telescopes on the observatory, you can only use them once. So that's what I'm going to do this time round. And my health stays as it was at the end of the last night. You can, certain rooms and upgrades will help you by giving you some like health regeneration. For this tree, you can use that. That's the exit's open, so at any point now, when I get back to the exit, I can run away again, which is always useful to be able to do. Iron Forge. Oh, so the Iron Forge is a really nice room. If you use that, it takes slightly longer to use, but if you use it, you get extra build points the next night. The Oubliette takes slightly more build points to build, and it kind of purges itself. So purging means it completely removes itself from your deck. But it also allows you to purge another card from your deck when you use it. So that's like, Oubliette's a really good room if you're like one of those deck builder players that like really likes to shape your deck. I'm going to take the Iron Forge because I just like building lots and lots of stuff. What's that? Do you know what? I'm going to come up here. And I've been collecting these relics. We'll come to what they do. There's basically there's some shops and some other things you can use. And the seal takes a while to claim. Whoa. There we go. And when you claim the seal, you get a boon card, which is like a really powerful positive card, but yeah, like I said, also gets rid of that wall. And then the other thing that it does is quite bad. It summons a horde. So a horde is like a big chunk of enemies that are going to bum rush me now. You do get a lot of XP out of it, a lot of glimmer. Well, glimmer chasm's quite good. So this is... The other thing that you've got to look for is like the size of the rooms. So this is actually quite a big room. Take that. I am dying quite a lot. That's that hard. Let's just get out of here. As the night goes on as well, you get like more difficult enemies spawn, higher level. So I do have this smite card, the boon, which if I use that, so that purges, so I can only ever use this once. But that does give me like a huge damage bonus for the next night's harvest. But this card also persists in my hand. So usually we have like the sort of deck builder flow of every night. Anything that was in your hand that you didn't play, that goes through into the discard pile. You draw new cards from the draw pile. When the draw pile is empty, the discard pile shuffles into it. But cards with persist stay in your hand night after night. What I'm going to do, so I've got new fog rooms here, and again, one of them will be the seal that I'm looking for that gets rid of this wall that unlocks the way to the boss. I don't know which one it is, but that is what that observatory will do for me. So what I'm going to do is build up in this direction. Let me just see where's it good. This is one of the things you often find is like doors. See, this connects up here, but it doesn't connect with the fog room because being pesky game designers as we are, we've made it so it's not ideal for you. Kind of forces you to think a bit about where you're going to place things. Haven't actually placed a campfire. The campfire increases like the maximum time overall, but also if you use it, you get like an immediate boost back of your torch, which is like it's really useful to kind of dot these throughout your dungeon as you're going. What's that there? Okay, we put that there. I can put the forge here. The forge is quite, it sticks up into that area, but it is quite nicely connected. Oh no, I forgot. I forgot that the Glimmer Chasm takes up 2 build points, so I don't have enough build points for my amazing plan. But I'm still going to come up here. I'll get these things, and then the next night we'll have a bit more stuff that we can do. And I'm playing on mouse and keyboard at the moment. I use this observatory. Oh, here we go. It's going to tell me what's in there. Okay, so there's 4 relics there. That's pretty cool. I'm playing with mouse and keyboard at the moment, but the game has full controller support. Plays brilliantly on Steam Deck. Okay, use my Iron Forge, so I get an extra build point next time. So when I leave this dungeon now, ow, 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 ow. When I leave this dungeon now, I will 4 build points rather than 3 build points on the next night. Let's take a campfire. But because this demo, I'm like this is kind of the tutorial level and very early in the game, so a lot of the cards aren't unlocked for me to use yet. I'm getting a random drop at the moment. There you go. See, that boon card is still there. Oh, I'm forged circled background already. That's interesting. It's a bit of a shame I can't place it there, but I could stick it on there. You see, I've got the 4 build points, so I could actually use all of these. Oh, here we go. Stick that on there. Stick that there. That hallway will connect up here. Now that means that I don't have to go all the way around this long route now. It's like I can make the most of this double armory setup that I'd created earlier on to come up straight through the middle and I can grab both of these iron forges, which means that like the next night I will have 5 build points, which is even better. And the other thing I'm going to do is stick this campfire up here. So I'm coming up this way. So what I'll be able to do is grab these iron forges. I'll be really low on torchlight by this point, but I can use the campfire to top myself up and come back down. Yeah, that's my plan. And this is again, because it's the dungeon, the tutorial, so it's like the first level. It's pretty basic stuff still, but there is quite a lot to think of and to kind of keep in your head, especially as your dungeons get bigger and bigger. There's like a slight maze element kind of comes in of like you having to place landmarks, and we have like some cards that are actual landmarks. Oh, and this is good. So the weapon shrine. You can take this bow. So in the game you have 2 weapon slots. You have a primary and a secondary weapon slot. And they give you, so you can hold kind of 2 things. I can use my torch refill there. And the bow is like, it's really powerful in terms of how hard it hits, but it is quite slow firing. What have we got? Statue to pray to the maiden. Do you know what? I'm loving my armories at the moment. I might just grab more armories. So again, heading back to the start to get out of here so I can build some more stuff. Night 5. This is still taking long. Whenever you claim a seal, this goes down a little bit as well, so yeah. Ah, I forgot that I'd connected that room. Okay. Do it here. Do that. I have something that would fit in here. I've actually got a lot of build points. So the other thing I'm going to do here actually is you can, every night you get by default 1 redraw. So I'm going to redraw the observatory. So that takes that card, chucks it into discard pile, and pulls a new card out of your draw pile. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I've got Glimmerchasm, so that costs 2 build points, right? But I've got 5 build points, so I can still build all of this stuff. Not that that actually connects in the way that I want it to. Oh. Kind of scuppered myself a little bit in the building there. Although that said, I mean the Glimmerchasm, going through it is good because it spawns glimmer every night. I mean you can see here this one that I put in before has been just steadily spewing more and more in. But at the same time it does increase the amount of glimmer that enemies drop. And again the glimmer ends up with you being able to upgrade and get new cards sooner. Do you know what? I'm just going to stick that one over there. Gives me the stat increase, 40% glimmer drop. Can I stick that one? Okay, here we go. Look at that. Bam and bam. And then, a shame that that's quite fit. Oh, but that does fit. Then I end up in a really nice little circular loop here of, I can go up through here, round here, grab me 2 armories, but see what's in here, grab this armory, see what's in here, grab this armory, see what's in here. A couple of campfires, because by this point I'll be really low on torch. Come through, grab me iron forges, back down again. It's a beauty! Oh yeah, I still got my bow. And when you get like damage increases and stuff like that, it affects all of the weapons that you're holding, so that's very useful. Have some more relics. I think in one of these... Oh, there's the seal that I was after. So this is really useful. Good to know. Ah! And this is who I was after. So throughout the ruins, there are kind of strange characters living in the ruins. The hen wife is sat with hens and a nice little bubbling cauldron. But her main feature is that she will upgrade your cards in exchange for relics, which is real good. So for example, the armory goes from this to this, which increases the amount of damage stat boost that it gives you as a permanent. It lowers the amount of temporary stat damage you get, but it's not for the current harvest. So you see that's damage plus 10% for current harvest. This just becomes use damage plus 5%, and it adds an extra use spot as well. So when you find new weapons, you have them then. Like, that's kind of like, you don't start a new run with them, but they're in your inventory of things. So when you get an armory upgrade, that's when you can use those extra weapons. Iron Forge increases, I mean, it costs more to place, but you get way more build points every night. But I'm going to upgrade my armory. Yes, please. Also my upgrade. Campfire. This is a really nice. So it ends up costing more, but it does much better upgrades, and crucially adds an extra 2 doors. So it becomes like a nice crossroads. Really, like, it becomes a really powerful, useful. Upgrade that armory as well. But yeah, it becomes a really powerful and useful card to be able to place like these little crossroads in places. I can't afford to upgrade that stuff. I think Glimmer has it. Yeah, so it increases the boost, but really interesting as well, adds an extra little door in there. And you find that a lot with like the rooms. So the observatory upgrade, it becomes more expensive to play, but it stretches it out so it becomes 3 rooms long and adds a whole load of extra doors. Like, it's really becomes quite a powerful connecting piece, especially, I mean, not so much in this level because we're in quite a small dungeon, but in later levels, like much bigger dungeons. Already grabbed that weapon, so there's nothing there. Come around. Grab me extra build points. No, training room. I'm gonna grab a training room. The training room's a thing where it helps, you can upgrade like your other combat stats, so like the fire rate and things like that. And out we go. Right. So the main thing on the next night is to grab this seal, but I've got my armories come through and my training room. I can't really fully connect both. Oh, that would fit there once that room's gone. Although my deck is going to cycle through. I've already got 8 things in my draw pile. I'm gonna do the training room because it'll be interesting to show you how the training room works anywhere. Oh, actually, I can pop that there. I popped that in there. I still got so many build points left. Stick that in there. And I don't particularly need that. I don't really need that observatory either. Don't think there's a good place. Actually, I can build that there, and then that's kind of nicely lining up. Alright, so we're going to do a similar sort of loop, but we're going to grab the seal this time. We are on night 6. This didn't connect up from that side, but it did connect up from the other side, so that's good. Heal. Oh yeah, training room. So when you use the training room, it picks a couple of different combat stats, and it asks you which one you want to increase. So you can increase the amount of knockback where my attacks hit an enemy, or I can increase my attack speed. Probably go for attack speed. Right, I'm going to grab this. Ow. If you get knocked off a use, it doesn't completely clear it. It just starts slowly going down. Now, grabbing that seal means I'm going to be able to build and go and visit the boss on my next night. But in the meantime, I've got a horde to deal with. Beacon fire is really useful. So this is a thing where when you're inside it, your torch just goes down less. It's quite a big room as well. Interesting kind of connections to it, like not super well connected, but again, like on a bigger dungeon, it's a really useful room to connect. And also, again, if you kind of are a deck building fan where you want to keep a slim deck, you don't have to take a reward from the maiden, you can just forfeit it. I think, in fact, I think that's what I'll do. My torch is going down, so I need to grab a bit of torchlight. Where is this horde? Here they are. Right, grab my iron forges. Bam, 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 bam. Ow, 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 ow. Almost got another level up there. So we are getting slightly closer to that, but again, seal claim, so that comes back down again. Yay! Nimble hands. All room interactions are instant for one night. Yeah, let's do that. That's a really useful thing. Cool, and I'm just going to stick that there. So what I'm going to do on my next night is I'm going to kind of come straight up through Armory, Faded Grove Armory, Iron Forge, which will be instant for the next night. I grab a campfire, depending on what I need. Grab another Iron Forge. So it means if I lose the boss fight, I'm going to have a lot of build points. But I'm not going to lose the boss fight, am I? Because I've been holding on to this smite card right from the start. 500% for the next harvest. The boss is toast. So I've been basically just sat accepting I'm going to do less and less damage, draw fewer and fewer cards each night. It's sometimes worth holding on to those. Bam, bam, bam. Absolutely whacking everything. So yeah, see, if I go into my stats, I'm at 500%. Why? The only reason that I could lose this boss fight is if I really mess it up myself. I mean, I'll grab these Iron Forges, which again, instant use because of that other boon card. Like, see what I'm saying about, like, the boon cards are really kind of powerful things. It's worth really thinking about when you're going to deploy them. Okay, here's the boss's lair. That's my bow and arrow. Absolutely working. So the boss. It's your boss fight. So you, the torch stops working on a boss fight. Like, you just always get your your maximum amount of time. But he locks you in, so you can't run away. But it doesn't matter, does it? Because I'm doing 500% damage. Absolutely whacked him. There we go. Harvested Warden. Took me 7 nights and about 20 minutes. And I never died. So you get some nice stats. That all adds up into a score, and then that gets added to, like, your meta progression, like your player level. And so these unlock new things. Signposts are cool. Like, when you get big dungeons, being able to place a signpost and, like, you can set which direction the arrow's pointing in. Workshop, there's some cool stuff with deck manipulation and cantrips. So cantrips are modifiers that you can use to make a kind of custom difficulty for yourself. And I found the bow, so now I'll get the bow. There you go, you see, so now I'm level 2, so that's because I've got 726 points. So I kind of need to, on my next run, do a longer, more difficult run, and that'll help me level up into the next thing. And at the end of the run as well, it's like you can get a reminder of what your stats were, you can see what your kind of final deck was, all of that sort of stuff. And I'm done. Cool. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching me play Into the Restless Ruins. Check out the demo yourself during Next Fest. Give it a wish list. It's coming out in spring. Thanks very much.